In this video, we'll start part 2 of fertilization and implantation. So here first we are going to start now with blastocyst. So if you know the blastocyst, we already discussed inside the morula. If the fluid is entering, then it is forming blastocyst. Actually now the blastocyst is divided into total 58 cells, and among these 58 cells, 5 cells are forming 1 2 3 4 5. Okay, 5 cells are forming inner cell mass, and the outer, the trophoblast, is formed by other 53 cells. So this is the inner cell mass. Okay, and it is made up of total 5 cells. I said total 58 cells. In that, 5 cells is forming inner cell mass, and this is the trophoblast, and this trophoblast is formed by remaining 53 cells. So total 58 cells in total. So now you see only this small 5 cells only forming inner cell mass, and this 5 cells of inner cell mass will later form the embryonic disc. Okay, so it will form the embryonic disc, and further it will convert into a whole embryo. So the whole embryo is derived mainly from the inner cell mass. Very important. Next, the trophoblast. The trophoblast is divided uh, mainly by 8th day after fertilization, mainly like after 8 days of fertilization. Here you need to mention after. Okay, after 8 days of fertilization, trophoblast will start dividing. Means what is trophoblast? This outer layer, this one will be start dividing, and it will be forming an inner layer also called Langhans layer. Inner Langhans layer, that is cytotrophoblast. Okay, cytotrophoblast, that is inner layer, and an outer layer called syncytiotrophoblast. Syncytiotrophoblast or multinucleated trophoblast. Okay, multinucleated syncytium. So this inner Langhans layer of cytotrophoblast, for example, if you draw the trophoblast is divided in inner layer, outer layer. Okay, outer layer, this all outer layer is syncytiotrophoblast. It mainly produces many hormones for placenta, hormones of placenta. Factory, you can say the factory of hormone of placenta is syncytiotrophoblast. Whereas the inner layer cytotrophoblast, this inner layer is in turn divided into two types. This inner layer cytotrophoblast is divided into uh, villus cytotrophoblast, non-villus. Okay, so the villus cytotrophoblast is in turn again divided into two types. One is smooth, called chorion levy. I said the cytotrophoblast is divided into villus and non-villus, right? So the villus one is divided into the smooth type, and one is villi type. So the smooth type is called chorion levy. Chorion levy, and this chorion levy will in turn form the chorion layer of the embryo. And coming to the villi, they will form the chorion frondosum. So this chorion frondosum, actually it is the fetal side of placenta. So actually we have discussed before that the decidua basalis will form the maternal side of placenta, right? So the fetal side of placenta is formed by this cytotrophoblast villi, that is nothing but chorion frondosum. Okay, so this is a villus type. So coming to the non-villus type, non-villus type is also divided into extravascular cytotrophoblast and intravascular cytotrophoblast. Intravascular will form a cytotrophoblast shell, whereas extravascular will form the maternal, it will replace the maternal vessels, maternal spiral vessels into like high resistance vessel into low resistance vessel. Mainly they'll act on the maternal spiral vessels which are present in intervillus space. Okay, so they will convert high resistance to low resistance vessels. So high resistance is converted to low resistance vessels mainly because of this extravascular cytotrophoblast. Intravascular cytotrophoblast will form cytotrophoblast shell. Okay, So now this extravascular cytotrophoblast will undergo trophoblastic invasion. So this trophoblastic invasion is in two waves. The first wave will start on 12 weeks. Second wave will start on 16 weeks. Okay. So once let us revise what is going on here. First I said there is inner cell mass having 5 cells, outer layer cell trophoblast with 53 cells. So this 53 cells of trophoblast is in turn divided into inner cell called cytotrophoblast or Langhans cell, outer cell called syncytial trophoblast. Okay. So this inner layer cytotrophoblast is again divided into villus type and non-villus type. Villus type is again divided into smooth layer chorion, leve chorion, and villus type chorion frondosum on fetal side of placenta. Non-villus type is divided into extravascular cytotrophoblast and intravascular cytotrophoblast. Intravascular will form the cytotrophoblast cell, whereas extravascular will replace the maternal spiral vessels from high resistance to low resistance. And there is also trophoblastic invasion. The first wave will go on 12 weeks, the second wave will go on 16 weeks. So this is about trophoblast. Now we'll discuss about inner cell mass. I already said that the inner cell mass will form the embryonic disc, right? It will form the embryonic disc, and this embryonic disc is nothing but already in embryology, this will form amniotic layer here, this will form yolk sac here, in middle first form layer is endoderm, second form mesoderm, next last ectoderm. So ectoderm will line the amniotic cavity, endoderm will line the yolk sac, and this yolk sac is also called endodermal sinus. Endodermal sinus. Okay. So amniotic cavity, yolk sac, this both cavities, if you see on a ultrasound, it will look like a double bleb sign. Double bleb sign. Okay. So till now if you see all the signs, we'll recall it. Okay. First listen, amnion, yolk sac, two sacs, so it is forming double bleb sign, ectoderm, mesoderm, endoderm. So three layers are forming from the inner cell mass. Okay, so we understood about inner cell mass and also trophoblast. So now as these are formed, now actually the curving will start, that the cranial end and caudal end will start turning and they will form like a baby shape. Okay, so this is a cranial end, this is a caudal end, and this if you measure the length between them, that is called as crown rump length. Crown rump length. Okay, in short form you can say CRL, crown rump length, that is from the crown head to the rump to the caudal end. The length you measure is called crown rump length. Okay, so this also you can say the distance between the embryonic poles. So now coming to another important point, heart. Heart will start its beating after 21 days of fertilization. After 21 days of fertilization. So after 8 days of fertilization, the trophoblast will be dividing. After 21 days of fertilization, the heart will start beating. Now if you see the fetal structures and in TVS, what is TVS here? Transvaginal sonography. So if you do transvaginal sonography and see different structures, like first if you see gestational sac, for gestational sac it's 4 weeks plus 1 day. Okay, and 1 day. Okay, and if you see for yolk sac, it is also 4 weeks plus 3 days. And so first you'll see gestational sac. The first form structure is gestational sac, next the yolk sac forms. Okay, so after the yolk sac there is formation of CRL, what I said, crown rump length. Okay, so crown rump length here also 4 weeks plus 5 days, or approximately 5 weeks. Okay, so after this you will see the cardiac activity. Cardiac activity is visible on 6th week, 5 to 6 weeks. Okay, that is if you see on transvaginal sonography. So this is very important table. Transvaginal sonography, if you first form structure is gestational sac, you can see 4 week plus 1 day. Yolk sac 4 week plus 3 days. Crown rump length 4 weeks plus 5 days, that is around 5th week. Cardiac beat, you can see here cardiac visibility. Cardiac beat is after 21 days of fertilization. Cardiac visibility is 5 to 6 weeks. So important is cardiac visibility is at the rate of 6th week. Okay, if they'll not mention any trans-abdominal sonography scan or trans-vaginal sonography. So if you see the trans-abdominal scan, it is nothing but the time on TVS plus add 1 week. So we are discussing here trans-vaginal sonography. For example, for gestational sac, it's 4 week plus 1 day plus 1 week you should ask in the case of trans-abdominal scan. Okay, so just add 1 week for all these values. So very important thing, first in the baby the gestational sac forms, next the yolk sac forms, next the CRL, next the cardiac visibility. So these are the 4 important points which we have to check out in the TVS and TAS. So now coming to calculation, always remember you need to calculate the pregnancy from the 4th week. Why? Because you know the starting day is 1, ovulation is 14 day, on that day only you have fertilization, and 28 day missed period. As the period is missed, now we can say the female is pregnant, but you should say she is pregnant from the 4th week, because from the first day you should count till the missed period. Okay, so 4th week. So now coming to pregnancy signs which you see on ultrasonography. Okay, on ultrasonography you see first intradecidual sign. Intradecidual sign, if you remember, that is where the blastocyst is going deep into the endometrium. That is the first sign. Next, the second sign which you see is a double sac sign or double ring sign. If you remember this double ring sign, there is inside layer decidua capsular, outside layer decidua parietalis. Next you will see double bleb sign. Double bleb sign is where you will see the 2 sacs are formed, that is the yolk sac and also the our amniotic sac, right? So that is double bleb sign. So these are the 3 signs you should see. Next, coming to first, if you see any patient is pregnant, then first on the ultrasonography you will see the gestational sac, that too true gestational sac. False gestational or pseudo gestational sac is seen in ectopic pregnancy. So true gestational sac will be seen first sign on USG. Next, in 100% of intrauterine pregnancy, mainly what you will see is the HCG level should be greater than 2000 in IU per L. This is a discriminating zone or the critical value. It's a critical value of beta HCG. Okay, actually it's a critical value of beta HCG in TVS. Okay, but if you want to see the same in TAS, that is in abdomen sonography scan, then it is like about 6500 IUL. Okay, 6500. Here it is around 2000. Okay, these are important values for HCG. So for example, if HCG value is greater than 2000, then and there is no gestational sac. For example, let us take case 1. Here in that patient you have 2000 of HCG, beta HCG, but there is no gestational sac. Then this is a ectopic pregnancy. There is pregnancy, but it is somewhere around. It is not in the uterine cavity. Next, coming to case 2. If you see case 2, here the HCG value is less than 2000, and there is no again gestational sac. So in this case, if it is greater than 2000, you will say ectopic pregnancy. If it is less than 2000, you need to wait for at least 48 hours or 7 days, and again you need to do the scanning. So again, after doing scanning, if it is doubling, if this value HCG, beta HCG value is doubling, then it will confirm as it is uterine pregnancy, that is intrauterine pregnancy. If it is not doubling or it is increasing but not doubling, then it is ectopic pregnancy. So like this we need to rule out the cases. Next, coming to the mean sac diameter. Mean sac diameter should be greater than 10 millimeter. Okay, mean sac diameter should be greater than 10 millimeter, and if there is no yolk sac seen, then this is a pseudo gestational sac of ectopic pregnancy. Especially in the pseudo gestational sac, there will be thick decidua and which appears like a gestational sac. Okay, so now if you compare the pseudo gestational sac with the true gestational sac, the pseudo gestational sac is seen especially in ectopic pregnancy. It is seen in intrauterine pregnancy. Okay, first point. And the next point is it is seen centrally. true one will be seen eccentrically means on one side, okay, and it is constant in size. It will grow 1 to 2 millimeter per day, and it will show a double decidual sign here, okay. Here also double decidual sign is present. Here yolk sac is also, here yolk sac is absent, here yolk sac is present, and it will never get a double bleb sign because it is pseudo. It will not form amniotic and yolk sac, but here double bleb sign can be seen. So here there is no yolk sac, here yolk sac is present, here the double decidual sign, sorry, double bleb sign is absent, here double bleb sign is present. Here it will never show a double decidual sign also, okay. So it is in ectopic pregnancy, it is centrally present, its size is constant. Here no signs can be seen, here all signs can be seen. It is eccentric, it is normal. So now coming to MSD, if MSD is greater than 25 and even yolk sac is present, but no fetal tissue, no crown rump length, no cardiac activity, then that case it is called as blighted ovum. So blighted ovum is also called an embryonic pregnancy. Actually here the MSD value is greater than 25. Here yolk sac is also present, but gestational sac is absent, fetal tissue is absent, crown rump length is absent, cardiac activity is also absent. So this is blighted ovum or an embryonic pregnancy. Now coming to CRL, if CRL is greater than 7 and no cardiac activity, then this is called as missed abortion. And next coming to another one, for example, female with urine pregnancy test positive and USG is done, and here the gestational sac is present and it is of 20 millimeter and even yolk sac is present, but no crown rump length and no cardiac activity. So we need to wait and watch. The next step is wait and watch. So this is all about fertilization and implantation.